Hi, everybody. There's always this weird lag thing where Facebook tells me the live video is starting, and then I don't know when it's actually starting. So I'm just smiling here like a fool. Anyway, good afternoon. I'm here today to talk about planners. Okay. I have a confession. Okay. I've been spending $60 a year on a planner. $60. And if all my stuff, not all my stuff, if a lot of my things were not still in a storage unit in Texas, full transparency, we still have a lot of stuff there, then I would have a better visual for this video because I have bought journals and workbooks and a whole bunch of other things that have said they would help me get my life better organized and would help me, get on track and meet my goals and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? I don't need all those books. I wish I had the visual. It would be all this. I'd be able to probably cover my face with a stack. I wish I had the visual, but I don't need those, and I don't need the $60 planner, although it's beautiful. Well, this is this year's. Okay, I still work on academic years. I don't know. I like going August to July. It's what my brain is used to. So anyway, I was thinking about taking clients back to basics with my aligned time reset method and simple systems and all this. So my system that I use will work in any book, whether it be a $60 book or what I decided to do this year is an $8 Amazon planner, 2026, 2027. Since I prefer academic years for my planner. I don't like to wait till January. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain why my brain works the way it does. So I bought an $8 planner. So beautiful, whatever. First of all, it's thick and heavy, okay, and that part was starting to annoy me. It wasn't even the $60. I would have done that again. I don't know why, but I would have done it again. This is thin. This is light. Okay, so all I need for my planner, all I need for my system, is I need monthly, which monthly spread. Okay, and then I need each week with a lot on the days. Okay, I don't want to open my actual planner right now and show online because sometimes I write tasks and I write phone numbers and I write personal things. And since this is a live video, I wouldn't be able to blur that stuff out. I don't know. I'm not savvy enough to do that. I didn't want to stick post-it notes on stuff. So I'm just showing you this blank one. One thing I do, like I'm getting ready to start using this planner, is I go through and I X off in orange all the days that I won't be working. And so I do work right now, my life coach business, opening it back up, getting back in the flow, wanting to help women, all those things. But I do work a full-time job right now. So what I do first is I X off all the days I'm not working. So this is September, and you can see that I X'd off Labor Day in orange. So I do that for the months, okay? I don't so much do that for the weeks because I want to be able to write tasks on those days, or if we have an event to go to or something like that. I also, in yellow, take a highlighter, highlight all the holidays that are relevant to me or celebrations or anything like that. So I do go through November. We got 2 days off, Thanksgiving and the day after, and so I do that. That's the first thing I do. I did not make that up. I got that from Steph Crowder. She's a business coach, and she does a yearly year on the wall program that I highly recommend. And so she says when you sit down to plan your year or even your quarter or even a month, X off the days you're not working. So if you're going to take PTO, if your kids are off for summer, if you're a teacher, you don't have to X off. If you don't have to X off all of June, July. Here it would be July and August. In the South, they start school in August, so it wouldn't be June, July. So you wouldn't probably cross off all that. You're a teacher, it's summer, you're not working, but you could cross off all your holidays. So that's the first thing I do when I get a planner. I made sure also that this planner, like I had to go through Amazon, I had certain requirements. I wanted to have, and this one doesn't have as much as the more expensive planner. There is some pages in here where I can write notes, which is important to me because when I'm on a networking call or a phone call, I will write notes. So there are some note pages, not as many as I'm used to. So just blank pages for notes. But I do need in my planner, I need for this is week at a glance, I need my days to have a lot of space because I put appointments and tasks. Okay, so where that method came from is the bullet journaling method. And when I say bullet journaling, I am not talking about the Pinterest fancy layout designs where you're getting markers and washi tape and doing all that fun stuff. That's great. But if you're overwhelmed with life, that's not where you need to spend your time. You're trying to get more done, you're trying to have more time for yourself, you're trying to have more peace. And so that's not what I'm talking about. I'll find the YouTube link. It's just the basic bullet journaling method. I do make a list for the month, what I want to accomplish in that month based on my goals for the year. And I have that list, and then I'm able to assign tasks throughout the month to different days. I also, all appointments, all standing things that I have to do, um, events with family, friends, dinners, those kind of things. So that goes there, and that's all. So you don't need all the planners that are promising to get you organized, okay? Because some of those have so many steps, and it's like I would buy the planner or I'd buy the journal that promised to get me organized, and I would, sit down and do it. And there's so many steps. So I do it for a day or two, and then I'm like, why is it taking this much time to get done just to be more productive? It was too much for me, and it didn't work. Okay, so I even, and full transparency again, because that's who I am. I even thought about designing a planner that I could sell to clients or to people who were interested in it. But then I'm like, there I am creating something to put on the market, promising something when all you need is a simple system. All you need is, or if you can find one less, more power to you. Planner from Amazon or wherever you want to go. Okay, yes, the other one's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I can have my name put on it. I'm just gonna put my name on here in Sharpie. But I can personalize the other one, things like that. But the whole thing is do I need that? I was trying to think, one of our goals is to save money so we can explore Massachusetts more, explore New England more. So why spend $60 on a planner? That's where I was coming from. Plus, I want to be able to say, hey, ladies, I am doing this with a simple planner. You don't need to spend all that money on all those planners that are promising you all these things because the system is so simple. So I am just trying to walk walk the walk or walk the talk or talk the whatever the expression is. So that's what I'm trying to do. Um, so anyway, I just wanted to come talk about that. I wanted to talk about, and like I said, I will find the link to the original simple bullet journaling method. It is part of what I teach in coaching. But if that system doesn't work for you, what we do is we customize and make it a system that works for you. Okay. Because that's what I'm here. Simple systems that work in your life. And what works in my life may not work in your life. But the thing is I've tried so many things. Tried it, failed, failed, failed. And I don't even want to say failed. I take all that back. I want to say I tried it and it didn't work for me. And maybe some of those complicated things work for other people, and doing all the fancy stuff with the washi tape and the calligraphy and all that works for other people, and they're still just as productive. But to me, I'd get lost in the weeds of making it perfect, and then I wouldn't get anything done. There was someone on Facebook commented the other day how they buy a new planner every January and then they lose it, they don't use it, and they just threw it away. And that's fine. It's not gonna work for everybody. Um, but I think if you're using it the right way, it can help you get more done. It can help you be more productive. It can make you feel good because you're checking things off. I love to check the box. Okay. I have a separate planner that I use in my day job that is the more expensive planner, and I had reasons for that. But I have that one that I use, and before I leave each day, I see what I accomplished, check things off. I try to check off as I go, but sometimes things happen. But then I move things to the next day that didn't get done. I make sure I have all appointments and meetings and everything for the next day on there. And it's just something I do daily. Okay. And then on Fridays I get ready for the following week. I do write down the 3 biggest wins of the week in there. So I'm able to go back and see the great things. So I use the same system at work. Keeps me focused at work. There was a time, and I think I mentioned this in my video, the last live feed I did, where I was all off track. I was all off the rails. I had threw all my routines to the wind when we moved, and I went through a lot of changes. And I worked with a coach, and what that coach did, she was a coach. She does different work than me, but we were working on whatever, what were my goals, what was going to help me get back on track, what did I need to get refocused, um just ready, just resettled. My brain was everywhere. And one of the things was to bring back that sacred Sunday. And one of that things were to make sure I'm using my planner. And guess what? My brain feels less crazy now than I am with the planner every Sunday, taking out each day, checking off tasks. So I was doing really well at work. I wasn't doing really well in personal life, and then things feel better. One final thing, and then I'll cut this video. It's getting kind of long. My husband is going out of town this week, and I had done a Substack post about carrying the mental load of everybody in the home and how we just can't do it. We just got to tell people we can't do it. So I know that this week is going to be challenging with him out of town, because I have to take care of the household tasks that he usually does. We have them pretty divided up. So I had to pick up what he normally does. I have to remind my son to do things, because my son's just in a phase of needing to be reminded of things all the time. Then I need to remember my stuff, my work tasks, my home tasks. Um, that's a lot on my mental load. So I purposely made my work week light as far as events and meetings that I had control of, the things that I had control of planning. I also made sure that I didn't have a lot going on with appointments and things like that. I have a few things going on, but not that many. Why? Because I know my brain is going to be stretched thin. Last time he went out of town, it was stretched thin. So I took control of that, used my planner, okay, made sure I front loaded the month basically with things, and made this week kind of easy. And so that's the magic of using a planner. And the things I do can be used on an electronic Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, those kind of things. I know there's tasks on both of those. I prefer paper planner. My brain does better with writing things down because it remembers what it writes down. I can't remember what I typed. And so that's that. So I just wanted to come on here, talk a little more about what I've learned about planners and planning and all that, and also just encourage you that you don't need to buy the most expensive planner. You don't need to buy 6 books that promise to get you organized, productive, all that stuff. I'm not saying you can't read the self-help books. That's not what I'm talking about. Read all those that you want. I'm talking about the workbooks and the planners and the journals and all the things that promise that they're going to get you there. Now, there may be some great ones out there, and I'm not trying to discredit anyone, and maybe some have worked for you. I'm saying they didn't work for me. So that's where we're at. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. You could drop your questions, thoughts, comments, agree, disagree, whatever in the comments. I'd love to read them. That would be great. And have a fantastic day.